Good morning. My uncle, every time I'd wake up in the morning when I was like 5, he'd say, Ben, you look shit-faced. I never knew what that meant. Day 2. All right, saying goodbye to room 229 at the day's inn. Rivian is still outside, so that's a positive. It's a beautiful morning. I might move to Texas. Also, something I want to show you. See this film? I call this the vaped film. I don't know why it's on my car. Probably because it sat at the airport and this breathed. Anyway, sorry, I'm just waking up. Look at that. You wipe that all off there. You gotta wipe the inside of your windshield, you pigs. And you probably should use a window cleaner because right now it's just smearing, but it's because I use this on the exterior of the window. All right, anyways, wipe that off. Don't be a pig. Let's get on the road. I just said I'm gonna move to Texas and I'm in Oklahoma, so. Keep on rolling, rolling, rolling down the river. EVs keep on burning. The diesels keep on turning. We're rolling. So a couple of things I want to address. A few people I've talked to on the phone have asked me, how is the Rivian compared to the Tesla in terms of comfort? It is certainly more comfortable than my Model Y on this trip, simply because it does have cooled seats. It has a soft riding air suspension. So it's been very, very comfortable. Getting used to the navigation as far as how to tweak it. What I will say that I absolutely love is if you go into navigation here and you can edit, let's see, click this. So you can see this little A here. That means the site is a A for charging. So you kind of know what you're heading into in terms of if the charger is working. That's kind of a newer update. You can also adjust your arrival state of charge. So I have my arrival state of charge set to 6%. So you can arrive at whatever percentage you're comfortable with, and the car will adjust the navigation to that. So I think that's a really great feature as well. So the more I'm using it, the more I'm understanding it and getting comfortable with it. And we should have a nice rest of our journey here at Gjeebs Air.
We've now reached cruising speed, Gjeebs Air. The flight attendants will be bringing around some snacks today. Unfortunately, the chicken has gone bad, led to blowouts on other flights, so we'll substitute that with goldfish and Sprite. Thank you for flying Gjeebs Air.
Bar Shit Foods. Come on down to Bar Shit Foods. I mean, for God's sake, they own the water too. They own the water.
So I was just sitting here thinking to myself, like, a little choked up. I was thinking I miss my wife and I miss my kids. And then I said to myself, hey, pull it together. You act like you're going to war. You're just driving across the country. Jeez, softer than a wet sponge. Another crying story that one of you watching this video will really appreciate this. One of you emailed a talent agency, which almost got me in a Hyundai commercial. I did a, what's it called when you go in and you audition? I did an audition, okay? Like over the computer. I'm still not up. So I did my audition and he was asking me all these questions and he was like, you seem to be like really passionate about it was about autonomous driving. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I don't really care. It's about autonomous driving. And he was asking, he's like, you really seem to feel that autonomous driving is not for the individual, but should be for the masses of people, which is how I feel. I feel like it could benefit a lot of people in ways like reduce it, like an apartment complex could potentially have a 7-seat autonomous driving vehicle that could, for an extra fee per month, instead of people at that apartment needing a car, you could have this vehicle that everyone, I don't know, it's just a thought. It's an out of the box thought. I started to like break down in the interview, and I don't know if the guy thought I was acting or if he thought I was just totally out of my mind. But to whichever one of you got me the audition, thank you. We didn't make it. And look, the commercial won't be as good. And we can all agree on that. The commercial without me is less. That's just what it is. But they'll find that out later, and I don't need it. But it was very cool to have that opportunity. So thank you to whoever did that for me. Did your boots stop working? Did your truck break down? Did that supercharger turn your smile upside down? Where there's a will and there's a way, there is a busted charger. Electrify America right in the heart of Austin. Now, before we get too deep into today's video, we need to talk about our sponsor, Drift. Drift began as a solution for better scent. Each product fits seamlessly into your space, providing fresh, real scents without harsh chemicals. Using natural, essential fragrance oils and sustainable materials, they create the best looking and best smelling car air freshener. These air fresheners are super affordable, ranging in price from $9 to $15, and if you sign up for a subscription, they send you a new scent every month. This way, your nose never gets used to a scent, helping keep things fresh. Their products are also really nice in comparison to other air fresheners. Other air fresheners are always jammed in your vents and things like that. This one just has a little magnet on the back and clicks right into place. You can kind of put it anywhere in the vehicle, so I think that is a nice placement. What I love about Drift is that they work with natural products free from harsh chemicals found in traditional air fresheners. So if you want to keep your car fresh every month, subscribe to Drift and use my code Gjeebs55 at drift.co or scan the QR code to get 55% off of your first month. That is less than $5 a month. Drift, thank you for sponsoring this video. Drove by, you can maybe see it behind me there. There is a dually, a Ford F-350 tank never empty, carrying one of those right there. Massive John Deere. Nothing runs like one. And I'm just thinking to myself, that's how a truck is supposed to be used. And like, I'm out here like, the chargers don't work. Oh, the chargers don't work. And that guy's got he's like doing things with a truck, useful things that make the world go forward. Then there's me driving a Rivian, talking about the cooled seats. So, hey, we all have our place. It's like these cows here. They're all God's children. Almost to the Yukon. Canoe! I think they make electric vehicles. Is that where they do it? The King of Tulsa. Epic paintball. I always go by this place. I'd love to get in there and light a few people up. Show them what whoa, what's this? Shake what your mama gave you. What is that? Oh, fitness, Crunch Fitness. Geez, I did not think that was what that was gonna be. Anyways, Oklahoma City in the distance there. You can see a building. We're going along nicely. No charging stops today. Shout out to Peterbilt. Look at that. Peterbilt trucks. They built the finest trucks in the country. And there's really no argument to that, I don't think. Maybe Volvo does some good stuff, but I'd go with Peterbilt if I was a trucker. Actually, you know what? I know a lot of truckers actually watch the channel because some of you have reached out and sent me things, which I appreciate. So let me know. Peterbilt, Volvo, what's the brand to go with if I'm going to get into 18-wheeling? Let me know. As we head towards Tulsa, I just get reminded of one of my favorite bits, and it's when I turn into the King of Tulsa. You know, I used to be the King of Tulsa. And I also used to be a boxer, but now I'm in a nursing home getting fed by a feeding tube. King of Tulsa. Huh? You can call me Rocky. You can call me King.
Keep right to stay on Interstate.
There's two things you can call me. There's King, and there's Tulsa. I go by both. You know, this guy who I just passed had a sticker on the back of his car that said, "Proud of my Cub Scout." Now, that's fine if your child is a Cub Scout. I just don't. What are you proud of? You forced them into it. You know what I mean? Like, what's there to be? Why the sticker? It doesn't really trigger me. I'm just asking a question. Like, I've put stickers on cars with like brand names of parts that I have on the car, and I did that because I grew up playing video games where you tune the cars and you put the stickers on. I grew up in the Fast and Furious era, so now I'm over it. Okay, I don't do that, but like, there was like kind of a good reason. Proud of my Cub Scout. I mean, when your friends ask if you kissed a girl, do you say, yeah, I kissed my mom? How far are we gonna take it? That's really all. I got no real issue with it. I'm just asking a question. Till next time. Signing out with the King of Tulsa. Hey, is that a McDonald's over there? They better be giving me a cut, because I'm the King of Tulsa. First Fidelity Bank. Better not be an infidelity, unless it's me, the King of Tulsa. It took me through like a neighborhood to get to these superchargers. God, when I see a Tesla supercharger, I start to drool because I know they're gonna work. All right, folks, charging up perfectly. Another Tesla supercharger, Oklahoma City. Look, nice dog run for your dog, beautiful buildings, places to eat, like these Tesla chargers are placed incredibly well, and There's even destination chargers over here. So yeah, they just continue to outperform everyone. Easy charging. It is a little annoying how I have to park on these, kind of blocking another station. So I'll just kind of keep an eye on it. If it fills up, I'll readjust, but yeah. Setting some records right now for lowest elevation. Elevation check at 9:51 here at 10:46 a.m. And we're 1,000 miles in. 2.22 miles per kilowatt hour. We're doing all right. Cruising in Oklahoma right now. Speed limit is 80 on this section of road here. So everyone is just moving along, probably getting great efficiency on this section of road. So you can see here, we are going to an EV Go charger. Even though I told this thing to only take me, these casinos are just trying to hook me in. Even though I said to only take me to Tesla or Rivian chargers, every once in a while it still throws in something in between. I don't know why it doesn't just pick a Tesla charger just short or Rivian just beyond it or whatever, but I'm gonna give EV Go a chance. It says it has a grade A rating in their rating system here. They all do. So we'll see what happens. I've charged an EV Go once in Phoenix, but never in the middle of Missouri. I'm sure, hopefully it's just great. But the car's been solid. The Tesla chargers have been great. It's a little expensive, but what are you gonna do? I pay for reliability, you know? I pay for that premium fuel. All right, out of the hole we go. Almonds, walnuts, cashews, Spanish, peanuts, pecans, homemade fudge, candy, and Miller pecan co. Exit 302. Let's try the old front-facing camera. Why not? What's the difference? How about how in America, maybe I don't think it's like this overseas. Never been there, but we just love gas stations. We love massive gas stations. Everyone's like, have you seen the new Buc-ee's? What is wrong with you? What, can you not, that's all you have to say? Have you seen the new Buc-ee's? No, I have not. How is it? Personally, I'm a Sheetz fan. Basically when you hit Ohio, you see Sheetz, I mean, that's it. But then you got like Come and Go, which is one of the most remarkable names in gas station history. I also like this little overpass here. They have a guy, the shadow of a guy in the window there waving. We'll wave. Another solid charging session here. Also, a little life hack. This is really moving information I'm about to share with you. But you bring one of these on your road trip, you're able to fill up for free with ice and water. They call it ice water, and you're able to fill up for free at gas stations all over. At this one, I even said, hey, do you mind if I fill up? Normally, I don't ask. I said, do you mind if they go, yeah, ice and water, not a problem at all, even if you don't purchase something. So, little life hack, that way you're not, buying plastic bottles and what am I talking about? The Tesla charging is going great. As you can see here, I'm currently at 66% state of charge. It says charge up to 251 miles or 72%, and then we can continue on to, we're in Joplin, to our next destinations. So getting used to everything. Looks like it's, I don't know why it's saying that, but anyways, it seems to be going well. This lady here was not too happy that I was parked here, but look, it's my, what do you want me to do, lady? She was still able to plug in, so we're all good. This is what I love about the Great American Road Trip is you come up on the, wow, her name is Jamie, J-A-M-I. Except real estate agents, their pictures are always great, and then you meet them and they're 80 years old. And you're like, what happened to this picture? What's great about the American Road Trip, we're rerouting right now. We're on a side street in a place I'd never be if it wasn't for the reroute. And my wife and I have talked a lot about moving from Phoenix and just going to a place that's just quieter, remote, slow, because everything is Ozark Automotive. Is that from, are we near the Ozarks? I guess we're in Missouri. That was probably one of my favorite television shows. But it's slower. Like Phoenix is very, fast paced. The summers are rough, but the winters are beautiful. So you always have the trade-off of summer and winter, snow, heat. It's, nowhere's perfect. Maybe Hawaii, but I'm not moving there. I don't know. There's something appealing about just the slower pace of the Midwest and the middle of the country that we've looked into a lot. Plus the cost of living. I mean, the homes in Phoenix now, what it costs is absurd. So I don't know, I'm curious, where do you guys like in the middle of the country, where you live that's you'd recommend? I'd consider it. I don't know, let's do an elevation check. I feel like we're in the 400s, that's my guess. 1,020, geez, we're in the Swiss Alps right now. Elevation check Our lowest was 627 down in the
Take the
bayou.
Interstate 44 East,
All right.
Interstate 49 North ramp towards Springfield.
Detour
Kansas
thoughts
City.
are over. We're headed back onto 44 business. Or no, this is 44 business. We're heading back onto 44 non-business.
Continue for 57 miles.
44 volunteer. Now, previously I had mentioned the updates to the vehicle. So a whole new infotainment system. They've also adjusted how the suspension rides and feels. The air suspension feels incredible. You can see that it's currently in low mode, and I'm letting the car automatically adjust to what it feels is best. So it goes between low and standard generally. It's on low mode on the highway right now because that's the most efficient way for the vehicle to drive. Again, remarkable to me that, and this is what Rivian's doing well, and this is what Tesla does really well, are the software updates. These software-based vehicles have the potential. It also has blind spot monitoring. Look, this didn't come with the car, okay? So now you have blind spot monitors using the cameras that are on the exterior of the Rivian. So that was a feature that they were developing, and now it's out and it's here. The ability to go into that and be vertically integrated into your car that deeply and have a software team taking feedback from the vehicles and their consumers is just excellent. I mean, the ride quality on this has improved since I got it. When I first got it, there were only soft and firm settings. And I was like, be nice to have something in between. They've done it. Not only have they added something in between, they've made it more comfortable in all stages. And then you have performance mode with low and lowest mode. You have the off-road modes. It's remarkable how sophisticated this suspension is, and then how comfortable it is. I've really liked that and enjoyed that on this trip. The cooled seat has been nice. Everything's been good. Driver assist. What is that? Google Street View is driving over there. Oh, maybe I'll be on Google Street View. Where am I? I think I'm just outside of, I'm at East Mile 32 on Interstate 44. Maybe I'll be in Google Street View in the Rivian. That'd be funny. Let's see what exit this is. Exit 33, Pierce City. But yeah, I'm really coming to terms with the vehicle. It's impressing me so far. Obviously, from a reliability standpoint, the road's soaked here. It just rained up here. That's cool. It's not rained yet on this trip, so here we go. But from a reliability standpoint, there have been no issues with that. We had some issues with chargers. Just Electrify America is just total garbage. It's remarkable how bad they are. It's impressive. And other than that, the Tesla chargers have been good. And I had a good Electrify America experience at somewhere in Texas. I don't know. So wherever I stayed last night, Elk, Eric, to Oklahoma. I don't know. All right, onward. Nothing like an exotic hardwood. They just don't make them like that anymore. One thing that, and I've noticed this for a while, is the navigation on this in terms of the real-time traffic information, RTTI as BMW calls it, is bad. Like, it doesn't even show that there's any traffic here. And this is now the second time on this trip where I'm heading just straight into who knows what. The other was a road closure, which was just a quick detour, but I had to do that and then it rerouted. So it's not great in terms of that. I'm sure it will get better as we move forward, but just another thing to maybe, if you're on a road trip or even locally, maybe use Apple Maps, just because that seems to be the most accurate, or whatever you use, Google Maps, whatever, your Android stuff that, Yeah, just sometimes this probably isn't the best thing to rely on. Just put it in your phone. Look at Lambert's Cafe. They got all the comfort foods. I could go for mashed potatoes and gravy right now. Like, I could just eat probably 2 pounds of it. Maybe measure that in gallons, I don't know, but yeah. All right, so finally, look at this. We're getting treated with some dignity here. State of charge, 52%, GM Energy, shout out Mary Barra. We got coverage, and we've even got, we can clean the windows and everything. 350 kilowatt CCS charger. All I did was I plugged it in, I scanned my credit card, I didn't read anything, and we're good to go. I'm not sure what it's costing. Session details. Yeah, I don't know what the cost is per, I can see that's the cost there, but I don't know what it is per kilowatt hour. Either way, really nice area here. Wendy's, Flying J, we can shower and everything. This is nice. I plugged it in, started working. I was ready, I was done in under a minute, and that's how it needs to be. No memberships and all that garbage. So I'm gonna get the windshield and everything cleaned up, and we're charging at 172 kilowatts at 53% state of charge. So this is smooth. I'm gaining more and more confidence in it when I come to stations like this that are actually built and maintained as they should be. They're not just in the back of a Walmart with ladies who tell me I unplugged their car. This charging session was a 10 out of 10. Ergonomically, the handles even go in nicely here. I pulled it off, I plugged it in, I tapped my card, I went in the gas station, I charged. It was perfect. Nice work. It says EV Go, but it's GM. I don't know who to give credit to. I guess GM and EV Go. Nice work. Old Glory, right outside of a firework direct import. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And Uranus Fudge Factory is coming up at some point. Crazy that's a real thing. I always hated in high school when the teacher would ruin it. Like, you know, we're learning about the planets and he'd refer to Uranus as Uranus. I was like, just let us please have fun and hear you say that word in front of the whole class. Let us have fun. Bucky's, you made it. Look at the size of that place. There's 6,000 stalls there. Oh my word, Bucky. Look at that facility. Just back your truck in and put whatever. Kind of cool here in the Rivian navigation. There's like a fog, a haze over these trees, and it's still there, so it must be permanent. I'm thinking the haze lives on, just outside of Rolla. All right, we made it to Wally's here, and the interesting thing is I'm just plugging these in. So obviously I'm using the Electron adapter, plug it into the car, and it just starts charging. I haven't even had to go into the Tesla app on the last few and like select it like I'm said 1B or whatever. So luckily there's no one here, so it's okay if I block a spot. Yeah, it just kind of is what it is. Folks, I'm at the Wally's charging station. I went in and I walked in there walking around like this. Like after all this driving, I'm losing my mind, but I got the Italian beef sandwich and I was like, it was wrapped, it was $7. I was like, I just hope it's good. Look at this. I might go back for another. This is unbelievable. The Italian beef sandwich at the Wally's, unreal. Also, there was a guy, I saw a statistic the other day. It said Dodge Ram drivers get the most DUIs. And there was a guy in there buying a bunch of little shooters, and he got in his Dodge Ram. So that was a funny thing I witnessed. Oh, God, I'm gonna make love to this thing. Hell yeah. So the charger back there was derated, so that took a little longer than expected. And also, I'm an hour and 45 minutes from my next destination. It's already preparing the battery for fast charging, which is weird because it's only 70 degrees outside. So that part of the Rivian, again, I don't have a ton of insight on that, but it's weird that it's prepping it this far out.
1/2 mile. Keep right to take exit 291A.
There's the St. Louis Arch. Beautiful weather out here today. St. Louis seems like a really cool place. Seems like there's a lot of history here. That arch also, my sister and I stopped years ago to see the arch. That's incredible. To go to the base of that, yeah, and the downtown area just looks historic. Cardinal Stadium. Yeah, the sheer size of that is like hard to appreciate unless you're standing at the base. There she is. Nice side view. That's a cool side view.
1/2 mile. 5 north.
Dude, this lady loves to ruin my videos. You know that? MISSISSIPPI. Welcome to Illinois. I know it's Illinois. Porsche. Just say everything to send everyone over the edge. Oh, would you look at that Porsche? So this is the final leg of the journey, 525 miles left. And I'm gonna share in this video some things that will help you while road tripping in a Rivian to hopefully give you a seamless experience. So right now the Highway Driver Assist Plus doesn't work because it says there's a glare on the camera system, which that's happened a few times in the Rivian. But we're rolling through Indiana. Indiana's beautiful. Another state my wife and I considered moving to. We're really considering all states except California, I'd say. California's beautiful, I just don't want to pay the taxes there, that's all. It's beautiful. Maybe we do West Virginia, maybe we do Indiana, Pennsylvania. I've been everywhere, man. Jibber jabber jibber jabber. Now, one thing to consider while you're on a road trip in your Rivian, every Rivian comes with an air suspension. Air suspensions go way up, they go way down. And what people don't think about is the fact that that changes the camber on the tires. So currently I'm in low mode right now, so the car's sitting real low. The tires are gonna have more negative camber to them, which is gonna wear the inside of the tire a little bit more. So my recommendation, if you're in auto mode, maybe take it out of auto mode. If you're doing it like it, this is if you're doing a ton of miles, and put it into standard for 500 miles, then low for 500 miles. That way you're getting a more even wear on your tires. Rivian also suggests you maintenance the tires. So at 7,500 miles, they recommend that you do a rotation on them. So as long as you're sticking to that schedule, that's also going to help. But if you just wanted to be more precise with it, you could get it into standard ride height. That's probably gonna give you the most neutral ride in terms of camber and wear on the tires. In my road trip videos, if you've seen this series so far, you've seen me complain about the navigation not picking up road closures. So I clicked this right here and you can actually report these things. So I can report a road closure or something like that. I wish I would have known that when it actually happened, but now I know and now you know. So if there is a road closure, you can report it and hopefully that helps out the entire Rivian network. I don't know how immediate that gets sent in, but could be helpful. Just observing the road construction here on I-70, which apparently will never be finished. But look how thick look how much cement, it's like 2 feet. Look, there's cement, there's blacktop, there's topsoil. Probably some bodies under there. I mean, I can't believe how thick that is, and there's still cracks in the road. So I'm at the Tesla charger, I guess in Richmond, Indiana? I don't know. I was actually able to get max peak charging speed at like 43% state of charge, and it held for a while. 215 kilowatts. It's the first time I've seen it max out at a Tesla charger on this trip. This has been an excellent charging stop. It's 64 degrees outside. It's impossible in Arizona in the Phoenix Valley for it to be 64. It won't be 64 till October maybe. And look at this. I mean, the weather is just blowing mist, rain, just blowing ass weather. And this is the type of weather I grew up in, but honestly, this weather and having to deal with this all the time is why I have the attitude that I do about a lot of things. Because if you don't have this attitude, you won't get through it. So we're at a Meyer, and we're charging up, great charging. It's been fairly expensive, but we'll add it up at the end to see what the cost per mile is. I took this roof shade down. Again, this is a product from Vion. Vion makes incredible Tesla accessories. They've been partnered with me for almost 4 years now. So they've been a great partner on the channel. So if you have a Tesla, check out their website. They'll be linked below. And I have a 10% discount code, whatever. This thing's just a hog. It does great on mileage. It delivers on its mileage regardless of the weather and everything like that. Now, it's not freezing cold outside. If it was cold, that'd be a different story because it doesn't have a heat pump. But I'm gonna go urinate in Meyer, and we're charging up, and it's beautiful outside, and that's really all there is to it. Also, I do want to say, this adapter from Lectron, I asked them for this, just so you know. They are not paying me to say this. I asked them for this road trip. This has been a lifesaver because I can reliably use the Tesla network, and then if I want to every once in a while, I can risk it and go to another third party. But this is excellent. I have a discount code. I think it's the code on this. A lot of times with my sponsors, I do the code forever. They're only willing to do it for a few weeks. So if you need an adapter, you don't have it with your car, I'd consider this one. I'd worked with Lectron for years, so I know them. This has been excellent. I have a discount code and I earn commissions if you buy it, so thank you. This has been really solid. I've tested it, and I had my friend use it on another Rivian road trip, so it's been tested and proven. It's a solid, it's not like a cheap, a lot of these third parties that make adapters make junk. This is like a brick, and I just keep it right down here, and it's been excellent. I never thought I'd do this, but in honor of my subscribers in Ohio, OH! I hope people just finish that in their living room. We're in Ohio. Now, we've wasted enough time in this video. You know, I want to show you how to be more efficient on your road.
In a half mile, keep left to stay on Interstate 70.
I know to stay on 70. I wish I could clip that out. Just tell me the pertinent things. So, she's gonna talk again here shortly. I'm gonna tell you about things
Left to stay on Interstate 70.
that make owning your Rivian and road
Continue
tripping.
for 32 miles.
I want to tell you about things that'll make, there's exit one, that make this ownership and road trips experience better for you. So the first things we need to cover are on the infotainment system. You can now swipe here and you get your quick controls. You can also click here, and that will give you some other things like turning on the power outlets, turning on and off the rear display, and locking the windows. Also, if something happens on the road, you have cameras on the car. If you need to record it, you click this button right here and it goes ahead and records, and you hear that little sound and it saves it to the drive. So that is very helpful. Now, if you are looking at the charging networks, you can reset your settings here and wipe that. You can click and then you can highlight which networks that you want to use. Personally, I recommend Rivian and Tesla. Those are the two, but you guys have seen that I've had luck at other ones. These are just going to be your most reliable options. So that can be really helpful. But if you want to actually adjust what chargers you're going to hit on your route, for the most part, you have to do that at the beginning, like I showed in this clip. So as you can maybe, you probably can't pick it up on camera, but anyways, we are like heavily downwind right now. So I'm seeing 2.76 efficiency, which would equate to 370 miles of range. It's amazing. And again, this truck, he's getting better MPG. Everyone's benefiting from this except the people going the road over, they're hurting. But it's just amazing what you can get when things are right. And I also noticed the cabin noise was quieter in here because there's just less resistance on the car. It's just amazing when you put things in more of a vacuum. If we were in like a zero drag situation, which is what this is closer to, 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour average in the last 15 minutes, going at 70 to 75 miles per hour. So extreme efficiency when you're downwind, it's incredible. Up to 2.993, there it goes. Oh my goodness, that's crazy how efficient that is. So 3 times 135, it's at over 400 miles of range if we were just only always downwind. All right, so just finishing up our last charge before we head home. And there's a few other things within the car that I want to remind you about. The first thing are these back seats. Back seats, secret storage. Pull this up. You get a couple Cheerios. Pull that up. You have more storage below the seats, and it's a fairly cool area to store something, even goldfish. So that is a nice area to store something. Also, through the center back here, you can actually reach into the gear tunnel. Just lift this little garage up, and there's my golf clubs. You can close that up. So that is a possibility. Now through this little switch right here, there's even more storage down below there. And as you can see, it's been raining all day and it's fairly dry. I really don't see anything that's gotten through the seal. There's more storage down there. Also, it smells like they spray painted this. Like it smells exactly like spray paint. You can almost see the paint running. So I don't know if they spray painted that or what happened, but it smells like spray paint. Now, one issue I've had is on this entire trip, this just flops up. I close it at every charging stop, and it just flops up and flaps in the wind, flip, flop, flap. So that's been kind of annoying. It's really just been annoying. It hasn't like affected me. It's just like, why can't they develop some, that's a nice zoom. Why can't they just develop something that works? Just kind of one of the cheap aspects of this very expensive truck. And then the final thing, I think one of the most underutilized areas on electric vehicles, but one of the best designed things is the frunk. And this is a full power frunk, so you can open it and close it. Look, I have nothing in here. And again, this is another huge storage space with more space below. More space down there. So yeah, all of these areas on your car, on your Rivian, should be used effectively. That way you can have the cabin as clean as possible while you're traversing wherever you're going. It's just incredibly useful space, and really the bed is a waste. That's why I wish I would have an R1S, but we'll see what we can do about that. So anyways, let's continue on. Headed through Columbus, Ohio. Another solid city, you know? Got a lot of history to it. Looks like they're building roads directly through the, like highways directly through the city, which is kind of cool when you think about it. If you had a highway, like, and then you're sitting in a high-rise building and just cars are flying by, it seems kind of cool to me. So, shout out Columbus. Next city is Wheeling, West Virginia. Take me home, country road, to the place. So I just drove by a business called Magic Mountain Park. It's just outside of Columbus. And I made a jingle. It would be Magic Mountain Park, come on by. And in that moment, I realized that if all else fails, I would be excellent at making jingles for local businesses. Not on a national scale, but local. Here, we got another place here. It's called Faber Specialty Vehicles. Faber Specialty Vehicles. Don't be a pussy like your neighbor. Get a custom car at Faber Specialty Vehicles. Now, they may not be able to play that on television, but it's you wouldn't forget it. What else do we have here? KLM Transport. We'll get your shit where you want it. Again, you won't forget it, possibly not play it on television, but if you hear that once, if they just spread it on social media, they will get some business. So we're on our way to Wheeling. All right, I just got another one for KLM Transport. Ready? If anyone works for KLM, I'm happy to do some voiceovers. KLM Transport. We give a truck. Wouldn't that would be something you think about. All right, so I just used this feature. You hit this button right here, and then I was able to report inaccurate traffic because this is just bricked with traffic right now, and it's not reported on the screen at all. So kind of cool they have that option there, and hopefully you just hope it gets better. That's all you can do. United International Transport. Whether it's here or there, we'll take your stuff anywhere. I just saw for the first time ever an Alpine. I can't remember the model off the top of my head, but those aren't sold in the US. I didn't even know you could, I don't know how that guy had one. Alpine A1, I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. I am just shocked that I saw that. That was cool. Here we are, baby. Made it to the motherland. Pursue your happiness. I like the old saying of Pennsylvania. I think it was something like, you've got a friend in Pennsylvania. Pursue happiness. There's no one is really pursuing that here. Everyone's kind of like, you know, like the weather we saw earlier. That's just kind of what it is. It is a beautiful place though. Like in the summer, the rolling hills, it's slower life, especially Western Pennsylvania and mid. Philadelphia is different. Not in a bad way, it's just a massive city. And I've never been there, so I'm just totally speaking on something I don't know about. There you go. PTL Trucking says, we drive like fine wine. See, they've got it. They don't need me. This truck has impressed me. I started this journey nervous about the third-party charging, rightfully so. And technically, Tesla is third-party charging. First party or vertical or whatever would be using the Rivian network, which I only hit one on the entire trip. There are so few across the country. So I've been impressed, and it's improved over the journey. Being able to use that Electron adapter, again, linked in description, discount code. I'd appreciate if you used it. If you need it, I'd appreciate if you used it. Helps the channel, supports me directly. The truck's impressed me. It delivers on its mileage. Takes a while to charge, there's no doubt about that, but I've done this route, this is my 8th time, I think, and I'm gonna arrive in the same time I would as my Model Y, and I'm actually doing fewer charging stops. The key is at night, charging up to 100% and being ready to go in the morning. So what I did is I find a hotel near a fast charger, or get a hotel that has a slow charger for overnight, which I haven't been fortunate enough to stay at one that has that's working, as we saw earlier. It's delivering on its mileage. It's comfortable. It's been reliable. It has cool features to make it more efficient. Sometimes I wasn't running the air conditioning because I just didn't need it. The other thing though is after I left the West, after I left Arizona and New Mexico and all of that, and it cooled down, I didn't have any issues with the adapter or the cable getting too hot and reducing the charging speed. In Phoenix, it's tough. When it's 100 degrees and you're on pavement and there's cars everywhere, everything gets reduced. And I think having these moderate temperatures really helped the consistency of the charging and using an adapter with the Tesla chargers. So I'm really impressed with this thing. I'm happy I was able to do this trip. I took the cover off, so I'm able to enjoy the panoramic roof. The sound system's good. The infotainment is laggy. The updates are nice. And overall, I think Rivian's doing a nice job. These are the ultimate tests, and a lot of people aren't ever going to be using it like this. A lot of people may have one charge stop or 2 charge stops. This is extreme, doing 9 to 11 I think it was 11 charge stops. In my Tesla, it's like 16 charging stops. It's just far less mileage. I mean, this can get over 300 miles of range on the highway, 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour. That's impressive. That's just really impressive to me in a truck that isn't aerodynamically efficient. I mean, it's as aerodynamically efficient as it could be, and I just think Rivian's done a really nice job, and they're on to something. I have no agenda. I'm not trying to make Rivian look good or bad. I'm not trying to make Tesla look good or bad. I'm giving you my own third-party consumer advice. I don't have any contacts at either of the companies, unfortunately. I also haven't really tried. I'm sure if I really tried, I could get some people to help me out. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a solid vehicle. I've been reviewing cars for 13 years now, and I'm not trying to make it look bad one way or the other. And it's also just my opinion. You come to my channel, you learn something. You go to other channels, you learn things, and you form your own opinion. That's how it all works. So there it is, 2,093 miles, 2.32 kilowatt hours, which 135 kilowatt hour battery, meaning 313 miles of range and 902 kilowatt hours used. Air pressure still dialed perfectly at 48 psi. There are your final numbers for the trip. So basically delivering on its promises. If you haven't seen the previous videos in this series, you can click them right here. I'll have them both right here so you can watch the beginning of the series to see what I'm talking about with charging issues, because the lady at the beginning, she thought I kicked her off of the charger. So